All right, well, we're back from the Black Oak Holler in West Virginia, and we've been lucky to get some of those fresh ingredients that are all about the Ossabaw cross pigs from the Black Oak Holler. Now, we've got the fresh meat here, which is a rarity because the hogs are only harvested in the forest once a year, and that's in October. So when the harvest in October hits, these hogs have been raised naturally in the forest, are ranging through the trees and basically enjoying the acorns and walnuts and natural forest floor mast that is there about them. The reason they raise these hogs is for the cured meats, and the cured meats are really what it's about. This is the vintage 2009 ham. It is from the Ossabaw crosses that were finished in the forest, and this one has been cured and aged for over 2 years. Okay, this particular vintage there are only about 80 hams made, and the previous vintage there were only 50. So these are extremely rare. Now, if you'll notice, this has an incredible fat cap on the outside of it. And we're going to trim some of that off here so we can show you what's going on here. And then once we trim this off, this basically, we hand carve it here in the restaurant. These are very similar to the famous Pata Negra hams in Spain. Okay? Once we get that trimmed off, we then come across here and we will trim little pieces of this off. Now, we're very lucky. We're actually the only restaurant in the state of Ohio that gets access to any of this meat and any of this product. Especially the hams. We're the only ones that get the hams, and we're the only ones that get the fresh meat. Now, the reason Black Oak Holler exists is because of these incredible hams and the cured products. They cure bacon, they cure copas, they cure lomos, they cure pancettas. They make a variety of different cured meats, and what's left is not much. And this is one piece of belly off of 40 hogs that we got. What's interesting about this belly is, you look at the fat cap. This is not like your normal belly. This is primarily fat of the highest quality with little bits of fine red lean in there. All right, so here we are. We're about to do the final preparation of the pork belly. Now, what we've basically done is we've seared it and slow braised it. We'll go ahead and do the finishing touches here on it. We're going to start by quickly sauteing the pork belly to start to warm it up. Take it with a little bit of canola oil and start to just sear it off a little bit. Warm this up nicely. In the meantime, we're going to start a little ragu over here on the other pan because we're going to make some pork and beans. So in this pan, we're going to take a little bit of mirepoix, which is carrot, celery, leeks. Saute that a little bit, get that moving around. Then we're going to add a little pinch of Dijon mustard. We're then going to add a little braised white beans. A little bit of stock. We're going to let that simmer just a little bit. In the meantime, what we'll do is we'll start to baste this belly a little bit. Okay. A little pork juice. And to the beans, we're now going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese, a little bit of shallot confit, a little nub of butter, a little touch of vinegar. Okay, the next move is to taste. You must taste everything. Now the beans have a really beautiful kind of creamy texture to it. We call it creamy dreamy. It's a real professional technical term. So we're going to take a little bit of this beautiful white bean ragu. We're then going to take this beautiful pork belly. We then will garnish this with a little bit of braised lettuce, a touch of red wine syrup, some little crispy shallots, a little piece of bacon, and of course a little herbs. To finish it off, just a little good olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, an American classic with pork and beans, Black Oak Holler's wonderful Woodlands pork of Ossabaw cross ham. Well, every dish has a story. And this week's dish starts at the Black Oak Holler in West Virginia. This farm is really an educational unit. We're trying to get farmers interested in doing this, get them a fair price for their product. I mean, this is 3 years it takes to basically produce this ham for retail. There's a lot of work that goes on with farmers, getting to know these animals, checking on them, checking the fence, checking their feed, their water source, making sure they're not damaging the environment. That's our resource. So you really want them to use this resource. You know, it's a permanent agriculture. There's no plowing, there's no planting. It's a resource that's given to us, and in many cases, earlier in the fall, this was all Japanese stiltgrass and weeds, and they've consumed that. So ecologically, they're improving the forest stand, and they're only in here basically for 2 months to consume the acorns, to develop the flavor into the fat, and then we harvest them. And then basically, you know, they deposit their manure underneath the trees, fertilize the trees, help with invasive weeds, and so hopefully it's one way of using this resource that we can improve it. And hopefully get a unique product. This is really based after the Iberian ham and prosciuttos, with the Cinta going into the woods to eat the chestnuts. This is a unique area. This is probably one of the best areas for mass production of hickories and oaks, the Central Forest region, right near the Ohio Valley. So this is an opportunity for Appalachian farmers to utilize the resource, hopefully improve it, and make some money. Better yet.
Roots, tubers, grubs, earthworms, insect larvae, and a certain amount of earth itself that they pass through their tracts, which they absorb minerals, etc., etc. So they really express the terroir of these beautiful hills nearly perfectly. The Spanish produce these wonderful, wonderful acorn-fed hams, but they wring the noses of the pigs to prevent them from rooting in the pastures, which is for very good reason. They need those pastures to feed their other livestock on during the rest of the year when the pigs aren't underneath the oak trees. So they wouldn't let the pigs destroy the pasture land. However, we like our pigs to root deeply as much as they like. It does mean that we're limited in the number of pigs we can run up here. Adds to the cost of our production, but going back again, environmental protection is the #1 thing. If we damage these mountains, these forests, we don't have a project, and the project has no future. So we have to figure out a way to do it in such a way that the pigs can work the forest without damaging the trees.
Once I cut into the pig and see the conformation of the pig, that kind of helps me determine what product I will produce with it. It's all based on the pig. We have two ingredients in our products, primarily pork and salt. So we have to have the best quality product, and that is why I actually got involved with Chuck and Nick, is because they were producing this pork that was better than anything I'd seen before, and the process in which we raise that pork is unlike anything that I've really seen in this country.